we have an Australian editor who has worked on many films, including Blood Diamond, Happy Feet, and The Sapphires. Please welcome Alicia Gleeson. He's the director of the Australian classic Kenny and has worked in numerous roles in the film industry. So please let me introduce Clayton Jacobson. He's an RMIT graduate who won Tropfest last year for his film Granny Smith. Please welcome Julian Lucas.
So my expectations leaving film school was that maybe I won't get into directing in a hurry. And I was being told that by everyone. It takes, everyone's saying, it takes, between 2 and 5 years to sort of get a directing job. So I thought, well, you know what, if they think I can edit, maybe I can just slip straight into that role and learn by other directors' failures and successes. And that's what I did for 10 years when I first left Swinburne's.
I also started out in a different place to where I ended up. And in some senses, it's interesting, isn't it? I don't really feel in a way that I've ended up somewhere. I sort of feel like that the longer I do this, I kind of really subscribe to the feeling that you're sort of a part of a group of people who make something together. And the boundaries aren't quite as cut and dry maybe as they used to be, but also I think with the technology that we have now, it's possible to extend, and to ebb and flow between roles. But
I think it's really important. This country is obsessed with talking about the state of the industry, and it's a lot of fucking shit, right? It's total fucking
so
hooey.
true. So
it's
true.
It has not changed from the day I left Swinburne 35 years ago. Every film that fails is proof positive that our industry is fucked. Every film that does well is the new dawn, right? And it happens every year. It's part of our convict culture to think this way. It's part of our tall poppy syndrome.
What your opinions are on the Australian film industry as it stands today.
One of the great things about this industry, I think, is that it evolves from within. And it's not until somebody makes something that other people kind of go, I really like that. I love watching that in that way. Who would have imagined we'd have Vimeo, YouTube, we'd be watching these things, even if you're watching a video of cats, people, there are all these unexpected things that pop up that make people reconsider what it is they find entertaining and interesting. What we're looking at in the future as well, that we'll be exploring stories in different ways, telling stories in different ways, yeah.
The best thing about winning Tropfest was kind of reassuring myself or giving me the self-belief that I was a good director. Like that kind of moment where you're like, okay, I can do this. And so going forward and pitching for ideas, pitching for briefs or ads or something, it just sort of instills in me that, all right, I can do this, and I've got that sort of recognition that, yeah, I'm on the right path. It's certainly a great calling card, and when I sit down with agencies and stuff like that, when I say that I've won Tropfest, they listen to me rather than say, there's a door.
It's the friends you make, the networks you create, the way you go out and push yourself and sell yourself to other filmmakers to help them, whether it's through internships or assisting. It's about persistence and tenacity, and you've got to be able to sell yourself. The quality of, an iPhone is actually better quality than what I shot Kenny on, which we then blew up to 35mm. So the great thing is that, the film came about because I made this short film, and a lot of short films have actually turned into features. So, get out there and just start shooting, and you never know where. I had no idea. For as far as I was concerned, it was wrapped up. I was going to throw it on the shelf and get back into doing commercials. And when Norman came up and said, I've just sat with a family that want to pay for it, my whole life changed, and Shane's did as well. So,
and I mean, that's always important for everybody, no matter how experienced you are. There's going to come a time where you're in the middle of a cut, and you're sort of 6 weeks in, you're exhausted, and you can't see the forest for the trees, and you're like, does this work? I don't know. So it's really great to have that habit of openness, I suppose, in a way.
One thing that the industry keeps talking about is that something is about to change. And if that is true, it ain't going to come from old bastards like myself. It's going to come from you guys.
Congratulations.